Greetings to the YouTubes. I hope you're doing well. It's my Kaylee 7 here on the 11th of May. Temperature is 59 degrees and I'm feeling fine. Once again on my little meandering road here towards whatever keeps me in motorcycling slash bass playing. Okay, so let's see if I can think of a couple of shout outs now. Alright, let's do one shout out to Happy Jack and another shout out to Nick Hildebride and a special extra shout out to Bob Nelson, who is taking up the RV life, and I hope that it is awesome, because that is something I'd like to do as well someday. So shout out to all of you, and to the rest of you, thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate your comments. I've learned a lot. Somebody who's a bass player like me, I'm not really a bass player, I'm a bass learner, he understands the gear acquisition syndrome for the bass. And they recommended that I listen to Goose, and I tried them out and they're alright. I think they're alright. They're pretty good. So I'll give them some more of a listen. Lately I've been all about the Motorhead. I don't know why, but anyway, so here's my story for today. This is my grandmother, my dad's mom, and her mom came from Scotland, so I think that's where that temper comes from. I got this from yesterday's video. I realized that I could talk about some of my grandmother's craziness. My Nana was, when she was younger, she was a lifeguard. So she knew how to swim like nobody's business. Am I going? Okay, I'm going. And she was a tough one. She had all older brothers, and they were big dudes and cops and longshoremen and stuff. So she was a no-nonsense kind of tough person back in the old days. Beat the crap out of my grandfather, and with the help of her family, her brother in particular, who was a cop, basically banned my grandfather from even entering the city of Somerville, Massachusetts on pain of death. Truly. Anyway, here's a story. So, as she was getting on in years, I would say in her 50s it started, she would have these weird moments where she would just do this crazy, and back then people just said, oh, you know, that's Nana being funny, ha ha ha, crazy or whatever, that's Nana's temper. But here's one of the instances. My mom and dad got married in 1958, okay? So my mother and dad move into the attic apartment upstairs from my dad's mom, my Nana, and she starts accusing them of stealing her sheets. Now, before they even moved in, my father, knowing that his mom was a bit kooky, wrote his name on all of the sheets. And so when she claimed that he was stealing her sheets, he said, look, Ma, here's my name on the sheet. Oh, you've been putting your name on my sheets. And that was a minimal thing. But then, I don't know how long ago it was. It was probably in the 60s, I imagine. My Nana's neighbor, this Italian guy, and my Nana hated Italians. He had put a new porch on his house. Had the construction guys come in and they put a nice new porch on his house. Well, she come out one day and she says, you stole my porch. You've been bothering me for years, and now you stole my porch and you put it on your house. And he came out to say, what are you doing, you old lady? Shut up. That's obviously ridiculous. And she knocked him right in the face. She punched him. Bing! Knocked him out. There was a cop across the street at the bar across the street, because that was a very nasty, dangerous bar. And they always had a cop out front. And so he come running across the street. What the hell's going on? She says, you coming at me? What did she say? I'll give you one too. I'll give you one too, she says. She was tough. My father put his arm down one day on the table. My father was a very strong man, huge muscles, and he put his arm down like that, and he says, look at that muscle, Ma, and he's banging on his bicep like steel, clang, clang. And she's, you know, old lady, and she says, that's nothing. She puts her arm on the table, pulls up her sleeve, same size, clang, clang, same thing. I'm looking at the two of them like, oh my God. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. She was a tough one. She'd give a hug to you. She'd put a hug on you that would crack your bones. I mean, she was funny. She was loving. She was kind, at least always to me. I saw her when she was much older, so I never really got the dangerous, crazy Nana that my sisters got. But yeah, she was really something. And then she had to get put in a home in the late 80s, early 90s for Alzheimer's disease because years and years and years before, when she was married to my grandfather, she caught him cheating. And she stabbed him in the chest with an ice pick. That's one of the things that drove him away, oddly enough. So she was having the reoccurrence of this kind of weirdness, you know, because of the Alzheimer's. And her husband at the time, the grandfather that I knew was my step-grandfather, turns out. She confronted him about cheating on her, and this guy's like 74, 73 years old. He's not cheating on anybody. He's going upstairs to the attic to drink some whiskey and have some peace. Anyway, she goes to stab him, and he somehow gets out of it, calls my dad. They ended up putting her in a home, and she was there till she was 95 years old. I think it was in 2003, maybe? 2, 3? And she's in the home there. Doesn't know who she is. I remember last time I saw her was the late 90s, before I moved to Hawaii. And all she could say was sit there, lean back and forth, and go, "Time to go, time to go, time to go," over and over again. And even then, she was tall still. She was real tall and real tough. And right before she died, about maybe 2 months before she died, the orderly was trying to roll her from one side to the other to change the sheets on the bed, and she punched him and knocked him on the floor. 6-foot tall orderly. Bing! Down he went. They come running in. "What's going on?" "I'll give you one too." She was a nut. That was my grandmother. So if you wonder, geez, Mike, why do you have such a vociferous and volatile temper sometimes? Well, I come by it honest. I got it from my family. Anyway, my Kaylee 7 here. I'm now going to park in the motorcycle parking, and I will talk to you later. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let's do the little, you know. I'm going to do the backup thing. I'm not using the reverse gear. It's not the gear or whatever. I'm not using the walk feature to go backwards. I'm just using my feet. Freddie Flintstone style. Hello, Doc Martens. I know, it's not safe. I know. I go back and forth on it. Here we go. Let's take a look from the front this time. Isn't that something? That is one handsome bike right there. That is one good looking machine. All business. It's designed to do one thing, please, and it does it very well. Alright, talk to you later.